and I liked it.
Hola! Welcome to the I Like That podcast, and I am your host, Shani Billion. What up? How you doing? Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't look at the wig. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. She's nice. I know she's nice. I know she can be melted. I know. She can be all she could be. It's me. Okay? I wasn't in the mood. And it is what it is today. It is what it is. Yeah, I got a ridiculously long straw in that coffee mug because that's the only straw that I have. And I noticed my teeth not being as white because of the amount of coffee that I've been drinking. So this is my solution to the problem. This is my solution to my temporary solution to that problem. Anyway, hey, welcome to another episode of I Like That podcast. Life is good. Life is phenomenal. I just watched a podcast called The Diary of a CEO, hosted by this guy, Steven. How you doing, Steven? Yeah. Um, I've seen a couple episodes from him, but this is the most recent episode that I watched. He was joined by Evie, Secret Service agent, and it was good. So good that I've decided to talk about it today. So I took some notes. Get my notebook. Let me not act like I'm spitting off the top today. I'm not. Um, the quote that stood out to me, and there's a couple quotes, and we're gonna go through them. But numero uno, the number one quote from this episode is, "You're not that special."
One of the biggest things that holds people back is the idea that I'm special. You're not that special. For example, I was one of the first responders at 9/11. I watched thousands of people die. And one of the things that got me through it was understanding I wasn't alone in it. And when you learn that you can get through anything, when you tell yourself, nobody knows what I'm going through, nobody can help you because it's just you going through it.
When I first heard that, I was just like, thank you. Thank you. And I talk about this a lot. I talk about that subject a lot on my TikTok. Roll the clip.
What you're going through is so that you can be a testimony, because there is no way to get to all of this positivity without enduring the negativity. I hear the beat. I hear the beat. I hear it. But don't follow me. Follow me, okay? Follow me. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. The sun wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for rain. So on your journey to growth or whatever it is that you're pursuing in life, as you fall, as you feel like shit, as you feeling anxiety, as you feeling like I'm doing everything that I can in my power, and it just feels like I'm not winning. Why does it feel like I'm just going in? Listen to me. You were not born before the hills. Those before you have endured just as you are right now. You are not alone. There are people that are existing right now today that are going through the same exact thing that you are. You will not be the last. Your children, their children, existence after you will endure what you are enduring. So, from me to you, I love you. I know it sucks, but it is for you. And ultimately, for the evolution of humanity.
I talk about that subject a lot on my TikTok as a reminder for myself, as well as um, anybody else who comes across it, really going through things in life, really facing, um, you know, the thing that the folks call trials and tribulations. You're not that special to be going through them alone or feeling like you're going through them alone. And once you decide that I'm the only person in the world that's going through this, you become helpless. Once you decide that for yourself, like, I'm the only person in the world going through this, nobody else understands, you become helpless. And you become helpless because you alienate yourself. Now, this is something that I've done. It is. This is something that I've done. And in that space of like alienation, it's just you and your thoughts. It's just you and your thoughts, and it is a dangerous, dangerous place to be. Um, I just, I had to start taking responsibility for my life, and in taking responsibility for my life, and giving you a open window of opportunity. If this is something that you feel like, okay, well, maybe I'm doing this, or I've been through this before, maybe this would be a better way for me to get through it a little bit quicker, or whatever, however it helps you. But for me, what I had to do was start taking responsibility of my life and stop being a victim to everything that was happening, or feeling like a victim for everything that was happening, even if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? And let me not lose you. Let me explain what I'm saying. Even if somebody did do something, even if somebody did say something, even if something did go on that affected you in a way, you do have options still. I do have options still. You got options. Um, and in those options, you can either allow that situation to control you in a negative way, or you can take that situation and use it to your best advantage. I'm not saying that one is easier than the other to do, because honestly, they both require effort. They both require effort. And I've done both. I've done both. And I'm pretty sure you know which one worked out. You know what I'm saying? Which one has longevity in a means of like helpfulness in my life. Let me take it. Let me take it. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do with it what I can do with it at that particular moment, and allow myself to move past it in the best way that I can. Um, it also it's also this too, though, in regards to, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. It's also like what you're not gonna allow other people to do. And raise your hand if you can't control people. Can't control people. And the moment you do try to control people, that's like manipulation. Can't control people. I don't want to control people. If people are in my life, I want them to be there. If I'm in somebody's life, it's because I want to be there. And yes, dealing with people, dealing with other people's emotions, it's communication, it's talking, it's working, it's an active force. Love is very active. Love is movement. But just like what she said, she called them bad actors. There can be some bad actors in your life. People that should be moved around. And in some cases, you are the bad actor in someone else's life. You are the villain in someone else's story. And you had to be moved around. And accepting that. And making sure that they get moved. You feel me? Making sure that you get moved. They get moved, you get moved, for the benefit of your own sanity, mental health, sometimes physical health. Make sure they get moved. And saying that, if you do decide to continue on with an action that you know is not helpful, to continue on with a person who you know is not good for you, it goes back to a line that I said a while ago.
Your brain will tell you anything to keep you comfortable, although that comfortable is lack although that comfortable is doubt, although that comfortable may be low self-esteem, although that comfortable may be a nasty attitude, although that comfortable is in just complete and utter self-doubt in your gifts. Your brain will work overtime to keep you in that place just because it is familiar, just because it is comfortable.
You are your own bestseller. Your brain knows you. Your brain knows exactly what to tell you, exactly how to say it, when to say it, to sell you. And sometimes we get addicted to our own victim mentality. Sometimes you get addicted to your own sob story. Sometimes you get addicted to the attention of people hearing your sob story. Sometimes you get addicted to being defensive as like this sort of uh, what do you call it? This coping mechanism to whatever happened to you in the past, you know, or you weren't able to defend yourself, so now you defend yourself heavy. Sometimes you get addicted to that space, that place, that energy, and your brain will go so far as to make up scenarios that didn't actually even happen, will make you come to conclusions that never even took place to get you to stay there because it's comfortable now. We know this space. We know this. We know this. We know this. Anywhere else is uncharted territory. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm trying to keep you safe. So be right here with me. Everybody trying to get you. Be right here with me. Everybody talking shit about you. Be right here with me. Nobody likes you. You know, your brain will sell you that. And it'll sell you that every time. And your brain knows exactly what to say to get you to buy. And it is very uncomfortable to say, you know what, that's a lie. And even if it is true, I don't care. How about I do A, B, and C to get to the heart of the matter? How about I talk to this person and really see how they feel? How about I trust this person until I'm given proof of what's going on? Now I'm gonna raise my hand when I say I'm a firm believer in intuition. Sometimes I know things and I don't know how I know them. Shout out to all my women out there. We know things and we don't know how we know them. You know, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my spirit that you said what you said and you did what you did. I don't know how I know, but I know. You raise my hand when I say that. But living, you you know when it's like this is something that's always happening. You know what I'm saying? This is the story every time. Someone always hating on me every time. Somebody always got something to say every time. Every time, maybe, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Let me sit down. Let me have a conversation. Let me see if it's genuine. Let me see if that spirit speak to me. Let me get out of my head. And that leads me to the next bar that I like is not making any decisions out of emotion. Now, again, raise my hand. If, not if, I do believe that a woman's emotions is a huge part of her superpower. I believe that it is a huge part of her femininity. And I feel like the moment that a woman completely turns herself off to emotion, and let me speak for myself. The moment you turn yourself off completely from your emotions, you turn off your flow of creativity. You turn off a lot of your intuition. You turn off a lot of your superpower. Now, as a woman, I believe that. Could I be wrong? Maybe. I don't know. I might be wrong. Could be. But the moment that you get emotionless, I don't believe we're here on this earth to be emotionless beings. I don't. We're here to feel. It's an experience. How can you enjoy the experience if you ain't feeling shit? But moving right along, not making hardcore decisions based off emotions. Not making hardcore decisions when you are emotional. That's the better way to put it. Not making hardcore decisions when you're emotional. And I've raised my hand already like 5 times, and it's been like 10 minutes. But I'm gonna raise my hand when I say I have been that person who have made hardcore decisions emotional. I have. I've made hardcore decisions emotional. Um, Effectiveness, I learned. I learned. I did. I learned. And emotions change. I may be very in my feelings one day about this, and my brain, and again, you can get addicted to that state of mind. Your My brain could be playing old memories of what we used to be and how we used to be and what we used to do over and 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 over again in my head. And it's like building this attachment between us. But the moment, you know what I'm saying, I actually get you, I actually talk to you, I'm like, oh, this is what is the reality of it. I was in my emotions when I did that, but now that you hear, reality is setting in that what I was playing in my head was made up. But this is real life. This is you for real. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times, allowing yourself to calm down before making a decision. And I really appreciate them bringing up this topic during that pod. And let me just roll a clip.
I had one scenario where I inherit a case. You know, John's gone, he went to the president's detail. You are now taking John's case. Okay, so there were some things that were incomplete in John's case with regard to evidence. It was admin stuff. The admin paperwork for evidence hadn't been filled out yet. I got the case. I pushed it to the side. I worked on it. I would update it, but I hadn't done the admin thing with it. Fast forward, I'm leaving because I just got bumped to a different position. And so the new agent that got it, I'm like, hey, here's the case. I said, there's one thing that I didn't get to do. It's the admin thing for the evidence. I'm like, I can help you go through it, blah, 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 blah. Well, the group leader I had at the time, which was a peer, in front of the whole group, one day he's like, hey, you didn't do this admin, you didn't file the evidence for whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he's doing this in front of everybody. You know, you need to take care of that, and that's on you. And I don't care that you inherited the case, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm watching this happen, and I assure you, all I wanted to do was like reach over and lunge him by the neck. But I didn't. I left. I was pissed. I let it ride, my anger ride. And later that day, I went and I found him after I calmed down. And his name was Jeff. I'm like, hey, Jeff, come here. Let me talk to you. And I took him into the stairwell because we had these secure stairwells. And I said, listen, earlier on you brought up this case. You're 100% right. I didn't finish the admin paperwork for the evidence. I will take care of it and I will help the new agent do it. I said, however, I was like, if you ever want to address me, because he was very insulting when he did it in front of the whole group to flex. I said, if you ever want to address me, don't ever do it like that again. I go, because I'm addressing you and I'm actually giving you more respect than you showed me in there before by pulling you into this stairwell. I said, so if you want to address me, feel free to pull me to the side and speak to me. But what you did out there, there's no need. We're peers. And that's it. You may be the group leader, but there's no need to talk to me like that. I go, have the decency to address me the way and with the courtesy that I'm giving you, because I could have easily tore your head off in there.
And he was a peer.
He was a peer/group leader. So we were the same, but he happened to be a group leader,
Okay.
which meant he oversaw me. I said, so next time, there's not going to be a next time. It was immediately, I'm sorry, you're right, I'm sorry. Now for that scenario, I wanted to have long-term good relationships because this person was in my squad. And so that's why I handled it like that. Never happened again. So I guess like there's different ways to do it. With Jeff, I preserved his dignity because if I would have shot back, he would have shot back at me. I would have shot back at him. And there's a point too where I'm like, I don't want to look like I don't want to sit and fight and look stupid. I want to be in control of like how I manage an environment, and me yelling back or confronting someone sometimes may not be it, especially if I think I can't keep myself composed. And in that moment, there was no way I was going to be composed.
So that was a situation, you know what I'm saying, that could have really went left if she didn't allow herself to cool down and address this. You know what I'm saying? She could have, right in front, in the meeting, right in front of all those people. First of all, and who you think And I'm not saying sometimes that's unnecessary, but one of my favorite my favorite bars is, we all gotta control our gangster. Gotta control your gangster. Have some self-regulation. Because, people are going to piss you off. It's inevitable. People are gonna piss you off. You will be surrounded by people who sometimes, not all the time, you will, be around people who don't deal with situations the way that you deal with situations. And if you decide, like, I'm gonna fight everybody, I'm gonna go off on everybody can get it. That's too much energy. That's too you don't have time to do shit. Because all you do is go off on people all day. And you can get addicted to that. You can get addicted to that too. It's funny. That's funny. That's funny. And the flip side of that is avoidance. Beat it. Beat it. I don't want to talk about it. Beat it. I don't care. Beat it. I don't care if I ever see you again. Beat it. All right, bet. Beat it. I'm gone. Who cares? Don't need you. Who needs you? And now you all alone. So sad. Instead of being like, okay, this bothering me. How do we come to a solution? This is blah 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 blah. If they say, hey, I think that blah 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 blah, I don't want to talk about it, blah blah blah. All right, bet, now beat it. You know what I'm saying? Or you're crazy, gaslight me. You know what I'm saying? Make me feel like I'm just off my rockers. Okay, now beat it. Instead of just beat it from the gate. And again, it's circumstantial. Different circumstances calls for different type of situations, but in a general sense. Let's keep going, right? This podcast is good. It was so good. Okay, this goes along with what I was just saying about okay, beat it. Now, in my life, the way that I've handled myself for a long time was movement. If there was no movement going on, then nothing was happening to me. If I wasn't doing something, if I wasn't writing something, if I wasn't recording something, if I wasn't at work, if I wasn't doing something, that means nothing's going on. And let me raise my hand when I say this is something that me and God I'm in my prayer closet about. I am. Regina, go to bed. Go to bed. Go in the house. Goodbye. Go. Thank you. That's not the bed. You're going to come out here, you're going to behave. Do you hear me? You come out here, you're going to behave. Here's your baby. You say hello. You come out here, you behave. Look, mama. Look. Regina. Look. Girl. All right, whatever. Yeah, but like, if there was no movement going on, like I was saying, like, I have been in my prayer closet about this. Like, God, like, okay, this standing still is cool, but like, what we doing? It doesn't feel like we're doing anything. Doesn't feel like we're doing nothing. But one thing, let me roll a clip. Roll it.
How did they train you as a Secret Service agent to have that instrumental mindset?
You do.
How?
Action. Everything's action. Make a choice. Move. Go. Do you know what's interesting? Everything was about movement. Don't be still. Even when you're getting shot at, don't be still. They actually teach you to run in zigzags. It's actually really hard to shoot someone. If they're not perfectly still, we would shoot paper targets. You miss. You're stressed out, your emotion, you're looking at this guy shooting, that person shooting, am I shooting like shit? Because everyone's looking at each other's scores. And, if you don't shoot well, they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to take you out on the next raid with me, right? So you've got that adrenaline rush. It's a hard thing to do. But they teach you like, hey, if you're getting shot at, don't sit there like a dummy. Move, run. And while you're running, run like zigzag. Throw people off, move. And I've taken that premise of always being kinesis. Kinesis is a Greek move. Kinesis, move, always move. Create momentum, no matter how stuck you feel. And I followed this actually in my own life. Just move. Don't sit still. I'm not saying don't grieve, don't be sad. don't feel. It's okay. But don't put yourself in a place where you're completely stagnant, because that's where you get stuck and you don't move and you get comfortable and you become afraid. If you can just create movement, I'm going to create a little bit of movement. I'm going to make a decision here, and then another one, another one. If you can just stay in kinesis, movement, you'll be able to move through whatever it is you're going through.
You see what I'm saying? So I like how she said that, like, movement causes momentum. Sometimes it just takes for a new environment. I promise my environments have such an impact on me. And it's not just like, okay, it's nice outside every day, or it's not just, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are just so nice to me every day. It's just, it's something about getting into a new place that activates different sides of me. You could live in the same town your whole life, know everybody there, and be happy. I'm not saying that. But getting out and popping that bubble and getting into other people's world helps you see how complex the world is. And that you're, again, bringing it back to the very beginning, you're not that special. Everybody goes through things, everybody has their own way of dealing with things, and you have to allow people to live their life that they want to. And I know I'm kind of going into like a little on the rinks of you know what I'm saying, of a vent. All right, get down, babe. Get down. Thank you. Get down. But that movement, it it it, it brings that out. It does. It brings that out. It reminds you that, like, there's so much. There's so much. There's a whole world going on. A whole world going on. And also it helps develop new data. Like, again, it's basically saying the same thing, but in the aspect of your personal problem solving. Being around other people, seeing different cultures, hearing how other people are living their life and how they deal with situations, help you step outside of your way of doing it. And it could, you could stumble upon something so small, but so efficient and so effective for you. Like, oh my God, this was so simple. I wish I known this like 20 years ago. And it just took for you to take that one trip to Arizona, meet that one old guy at the gas station. That one trip to Florida, that nice couple you met on the beach, you know, that told you in their 30s, look, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know. Still don't know. You know, sometimes it takes for you to pop that bubble and get out and meet other people, have different conversations. Even if you don't have any conversations, observing the way that other people live, observing the way that other people problem solve, instead of being so closed minded and only being in this one way, in this one space, in this one way. You know what I'm saying? And it helps with depression. Movement helps with depression. I don't know where I heard it from. I'm gonna get better. I said it every podcast. But even if you feel like shit, getting up and doing jumping jacks helps you feel better. When you're overthinking, taking a walk helps you feel better. Change of environment, actual movement in the slightest and in the largest amount is helpful to mental stability, is helpful to get you out of a mindset that is not helpful to you. And I love that this podcast mentioned that. Let's move on to the next bar. She mentioned you can't fight everybody. Now, I would say this has never been really an issue for me personally. You can't fight everybody. Can't fight everybody. You can't fight everybody. You can't argue everybody down. And I believe we kind of touched base on this before. I wrote it down again. So I'm going to talk about it again in a little bit more detail. I was talking to someone that I love, right? And they asked me a while ago, like this question that was going on, like, would you prefer love or loyalty? No, no, no. Would you prefer respect or loyalty? And, I initially said I would prefer you respect me, what I'm saying, respect my time and move on, and be honest about how you feel about me, what you want from me, what we doing here. Respect my time. Respect that I can't get it back. Respect that my time is the only thing that I can't get back. All right. Me and God can go in the closet, repair my heart. I can grow my hair back after I cut it off, after you done drove me crazy. I can get money back. I can even love again. Find somebody else, fall in love with them. I can get it back. But go in the house, go, go, go. Yeah, I can get all that back. But I can't get my time back. Can't get them years back, Papa. Can't get them years back from you. But I recently changed that answer. And my new answer was, it depends on who you are. If you are my life partner, this person that I'm spending 90% of my time with, this person who I am joining my life with. No matter what car you driving, I'm in it. No matter what car I'm driving, you in it. We in this life together. We have decided to do life together. Me and you. When them kids grow up and they gone, after we done put our parents in the ground, me and you. From that person, I expect both. I expect your love, and I expect your loyalty, and I expect respect from you because of the amount of time that we will spend together, because of the amount of trust we have to have in each other. I expect both from you. From my friends, I expect loyalty. And the reason I say that is because you may say something that's not that respectful to me, but it will always be with love because you care, because you give a shit. You may come to me like, Shani, that was messed up what you did. That was messed up what you said. I know that we better than that. I expected more from you. I believe that you are full of shit right now. And I can't even look at your face. If you was to tell me that, it's not the most respectful thing. But you ain't going and spilling my secrets now because we into it. You ain't going you ain't going and telling everybody what I've told you in confidence to everybody. You see what I'm saying? And people just, on the outskirts, you know what I'm saying? Respect me. And if you don't respect me, chop, chop, chop. You know what I'm talking about? Chop, 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 chop. Respect me in the street. If you don't, chop, 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 chop. And that comes back to, you can't fight everybody. So me going head to head fighting with somebody who was on the outskirts of things, that's a waste of my time. You don't respect me, chop, unless it's to a point where it has to take place. This is something that just keeps on occurring. All right, bet. Let me pull you to the side and let you know what's really going on, really how I feel. But so far as like every single person, everybody gonna know how I feel. Everybody gonna get it. Everybody, no, that I'm too busy. We don't have time for that. Even if I'm not busy, I promise I can find something better to do. I promise you can find something better to do. Everybody don't need to get it. They don't. Everybody don't need to get it. Beat it. Whatever. Get out of here. Like it. And same for me. I'm not, like she said, I'm not flying high above everybody. I'm not that special. Certain people just like, yo, Shani, get it. Beat it. Hey, what I'm doing? Let you do you. Live your life. And I had to learn and grow into, you know what I'm saying? I had to grow into this. Learn this. go through experiences and get to this conclusion. And it's not just, okay, I know it, now I just do it. Like, no. I it's waves. It's waves. It's waves. It's waves. But I really like that. I really like that this podcast mentioned that. I do. Now, it talks about two different kinds of people. Let me see. My next bar, it talked about two different kind of people, and those two different kind of people are identity and instrumental. Now, a person that is identity focused is a person that does a lot of self analyzing, and that's analyzing their own behavior, analyzing their own emotions, just self-centered analyzing. And the downfall of being an identity based person is you lose sight that the world is going on. And people who are in this state more often than the instrumental people who reside in this state the most are more prone to depression and anxiety. Now, let me raise my hand because I know this person, because I've been this person more recently than you think. And I found that when I started analyzing my behavior so much, it made me more judgmental toward not doing things that I feel like I should know better. I feel like I should know better. So instead of me just like, okay, I fucked up, let me move on. It's like, no, I fucked up. I thought I was better than this. I thought about this. I talked about this. I wrote about this. I prayed about this. How could I let myself down like this? I need to do more. I need to be more. And that shit is a dark, deep hole. Now, I believe that there is balance in everything. And we're going to get into the other kind of person. I do believe that there is balance in everything. I do believe in analyzing past experiences so that I can learn moving forward. Right? I can learn moving forward. I do I do believe that it is necessary to take responsibility for your life. And in taking responsibility for your life, it takes some self-awareness. All right, this happened, this keep happening. What am I doing? I keep getting in relationships like this. Okay, what am I doing? Because it got to, no, for real, you know? All right. With that being said, let's move. The next type of person is the instrumental type person. Now, this person is a task-driven person, problem-solving person. I've been this person too, to the extreme. Remember, I just said a little bit earlier, like I was in a place like, bro, if I'm not doing something, if I'm not moving, if I'm not at work, if I'm not recording, if I'm not planning a recording, if I don't have something on the agenda, we're talking failure. That's to the extreme. Failure. I like work to the bone. To the bone. Problem solve to the bone. And it talked about how these different type of people communicate. And when I say I'm coming out of that, living in that identity mindset, because being in an identity mindset, it makes it hard for you to hear other people. Genuinely. It makes you hard for you to truly hear somebody when they speak. Being in an instrumental mindset, it helps you really get your mind off of yourself, get your mind off of your problems and really take in that, hey, I'm not that special. I'm not alone. Everybody's going through things. And when somebody is talking to me, I can be present because I'm not in my head focusing on me. Everything that you're saying in my mind, I'm trying to think if you trying to secretly manipulate or throw shots or be this or be that, because it's just so, you just so inside of yourself. So inside of yourself. So I have experienced both of these to their extremes. I have, and I'm grateful, and and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have. Again, I'm not that special. A lot of people have, but I think that is life is so good in that way that life will let you. What's let me roll this real quick.
Because even when I think about my career in business, I think if I'd heard on a podcast someone telling me, when bad shit happens, just fucking, like stay in the middle, I don't think it would have been enough to prepare me for the reality of the situation when you've got, say, 500 employees and you've got to pay them all tomorrow, and you look at the bank and it says zero, and you've got clients emailing you, giving you shit for this or this, whatever. Or when our company got hacked in the early days, and all of my clients, my biggest clients in the world, biggest brands in the world, all got personalized abusive emails about their appearance at 3 a.m. in the morning. That was apparently from my business partner's email. It was apparently meant to go to my PA, but accidentally got sent to them. And waking up on that morning as a 23, 24-year-old, there's really no words that can prepare me for that. But because I've been through it, I could go through it again. And I wonder how much of this is actually in life you're just going to have to go through some difficult shit, because you've been through difficult shit.
But you have to go through it. There's no exception. The harder you work, you're going to work so hard to avoid it, which actually just makes you more afraid and weaker. Where it's like, it's just going to happen, and being okay, we mitigate as much as we can through the circle of people, what we choose to do, what we choose to surround ourselves with. We understand that, right? The bulletproof vest can only cover so much of our body. And then we understand that we are vulnerable in other areas, and you're going to have to go through it. Even as a mom, like, one of the things is I want to give my daughter the best tools so that she can problem solve. And it's not just being able to feel the stress. It's being able to, when you're dealing with a scenario like that, you can't just sit and be paralyzed by it. You're like, I have to respond to this. And you learn to cope. You learn coping skills and strategies. You're learning to problem solve. The only way you learn to problem solve is when you're dealing with a problem. If everything's problem-free, you don't know how to problem solve. So one of the things I make sure with my daughter, and even though she's still very young, is I will look at moments where she's frustrated. Let's say she's trying to climb onto the bed. I will let her, as long as it's safe, I'll let her be frustrated and cry and scream till she gets up on the bed. I've seen her do it. I know she can do it. So I will tell her, I will say, work out the problem. There's incremental things we can do in our lives to allow ourselves to learn how to problem solve. There's no escaping problems for anyone. There's no escaping hardship for anybody. There's no escaping trauma or tragedy for anybody. There just isn't. I think when you come to terms with that, you're okay. But it's when you can't come to terms with it and you think life's just bad for me. Life's picking on me. My life is hard. My life is this. My life is that. You're not that special.
Like what she said, God is watching you cry, trying to get up on the bed, but not gonna help you get up there, because you can do it on your own. Get up there, and the only how you're gonna know you can do it on your own is if I let you. The only how I could find this balance, the only how that I could understand that living this way and overanalyzing in this way is not a healthy thing for me to do, is to have that experience. And that's for me. You know what I'm saying? The only why I can know there is a there is what do you call it? An unhealthy instrumental mindset of to the extreme of feeling like you're not shit if you're not doing something. So I truly appreciate this podcast. I appreciate the way that it's broken down. And it also, there was a chart, and I like how they broke this down. in reference to understanding who you're dealing with and allowing yourself to switch depending on who you're dealing with. So if you're talking to a lion and they're leading the conversation, they're in, you know what I'm saying? They're allowing, they they're dominant right now. They're leading this conversation. I'm going to be the mouse, which is someone who is, you know, of servitude. Let me listen to you. Let me take it in. Let me follow direction. And the monkey person, the person that's outside speaking to everybody, super social person. Hey, how you doing? Hello, hey. You know what I mean? And then the T-Rex person, that person is blunt, forward, and direct. It's like this balance of all of these different type of people, different type of characteristics that I feel like we all have a little bit of all of these in us, just creating this equilibrium that is effective for us in the way that we live. And understanding that there are bad versions of all. The lion, the mouse, the monkey, and the T-Rex, you know, being this person that go from, hey, how you doing, to, oh my God, I need to tell you something. Let me tell you something, you know, being this desperate person. This desperate person, this lion person is, you're no longer being a leader, you know, you're bossing people around. You're being a bully to people. Instead of this mouse person that's willing to take the, be of service, to listen. And that was like, you're not using your voice at all. You've become a doormat. This T-Rex person that was direct, now you just argumentative. Everything's an argument. You want to fight everybody, just understanding that there's a balance and that you can identify who you're dealing with in order for you to be a better communicator and a better listener, which will help you in life altogether. Ouch. Which will help you in life altogether, I feel. And I just found it very interesting. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much, Evie, for this episode. It was super helpful. This is her book. I'm gonna read it. I am. I'm gonna read it. I'm very inspired by this woman. I'm very inspired by her. I will put her links below. I will put the link to the pod below. I'm going to put the link to the book below. And we are still reading Worthy. I know. It's been a while. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. We're still reading Worthy down. I think we got like 3 chapters left. So once I finish Worthy, I'll be back to sum up the second half because it's good. That book been good the whole time, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you saw, but I'm releasing my music. So I started a separate playlist for my music making journey. So yeah, also below. Anyway, that's it. Love y'all. Love y'all down. See you later. Wait. I didn't get to gas you up. Trying to go so soon. You are reading it down with me, and I like that. You are not that special. And that's a good thing. And you know it. And I like that. You know that you're not alone. And that is a very soothing feeling. And you're taking it all in and understanding that life is teaching you valuable lessons in the things that you go through. And I like that. You are recognizing who you're sitting across from and moving, speaking, being silent accordingly. And I like that. And I like that. Before you get to point out the plank in other people's eye. No. Before you get to pointing out the speck of dust in somebody else's eye, you paying attention to the plank in your own. And I like that. And I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's it. That's it. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
And I liked it.